Sri Lankan Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and the opposition party leader Sajith Premadasa are now facing off over the 21st Amendment to the Sri Lankan Constitution. The changes will annul the 20A Amendment, which gives unrestrained powers to President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. The amendment aims at empowering the Parliament over the President. In a series of tweets, Wickremesinghe has said that the Cabinet has now approved the 21st Amendment and now the final draft needs to be presented to the Parliament. However, he also added that the process will be unfortunately delayed due to the boycott of the Parliament by the opposition. That is the Samagi Jana Balavegaya and also the National People's Power. The opposition leader MP Sajith Premadasa has responded to Wickremesinghe's accusations pertaining to the delay in presenting the amendment in the Parliament. He has clarified that the SJB is not causing any delays. He has further stated that as the amendment comes into effect after the 9th Parliament, this means that the current President's powers are not curtailed in any way, levelling accusations at former Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. The opposition has further said that for a period of a year, the Prime Minister did nothing and that the opposition has no faith in the new Prime Minister, that he will in fact do anything for the country to curtail the powers of the President. Sri Lanka is facing its worst economic crisis in almost about 7 decades. A severe foreign exchange crisis has hampered the import of essentials including food, fuel and medicines. The island nation also needs about $5 billion in the next 6 months to cover the basic necessities for its 22 million people. Now, India, of course, has come to the rescue of the cash-strapped island nation Sri Lanka. New Delhi has sent a team of experts to assess the island's rapidly deteriorating economic situation. Now, India's top diplomat held talks with Sri Lanka's President and Prime Minister and signalled its willingness to go beyond the $4 billion in terms of loans and other aid. Now, India's Foreign Secretary Vinay Quatra held talks with President Gotabaya Rajapaksa and Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. Now, the Indian team also held a separate meeting with Wickremesinghe, the central bank governor and the finance ministry officials. The two sides discussed the future course of action of the Indian aid program. Now remember, India has been the principal source of foreign assistance to Sri Lanka in this crisis over this year. Development assistance extended by India stands at over $5 billion, with more than $600 million being given in terms of grants. It has also offered several credit lines for Sri Lanka to import essentials. Now, India also continues to be the largest source of tourism for Sri Lanka. The neighbours are also in talks for additional support, including a $500 million credit line for fuel, since Colombo is experiencing extreme fuel shortages. Now, to avoid unnecessary use of petrol, Sri Lanka's Parliament has cancelled its remaining sittings for the week. This comes just days after the authorities had shut schools and also state offices to save fuel. Sri Lanka has defaulted on its $51 billion foreign debt in the month of April. It is in talks with the International Monetary Fund for a bailout which could take several months. A US Treasury delegation is also expected in Sri Lanka next week to assess the economic crisis. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.